Hello and welcome back to MotoringBox. This is just a bonus video which I've filmed after I installed this Haltech Pro plug-in ECU onto my BA Falcon XR6 Turbo. And I think there's going to be a lot of people out there in my comment section saying, why the hell did you install a $3,000 aftermarket ECU into a car like this? Because really, you can get a car like this flash tuned for around $1,000. So yeah, why would you? Why would you spend 3 times the amount of money to get pretty much the same result? And really, for me, it is a simple answer. As a car enthusiast, I want my car to be a representation of me. I want it to be exactly how I want it, and I want to be proud of what I've done. And if you've been following the channel, you'll see that I've sort of stuck to this mantra all the way along. If you have a look at my intercooler, for example, that cost me over $1,000, and you can get arguably a similar looking intercooler for just over $100. Likewise, the radiator as well cost me over $1,000 for this 55mm PWR aluminium radiator. But you can get aluminium radiators for these cars for just a couple of $100. So yes, I think it really comes back to what are you going to enjoy and what are you going to be proud of when you look at this car later on when it's finished. So if you got to the end of this and you just spent a couple of $100 on parts on eBay and thrown it on, got it tuned, got a half decent result, if you took a step back, would you really be proud of what you've achieved? Would you be proud of the build and the customization that you've done on this car? I don't think I would be. And I don't think those crows would be either. So yeah, it's really, I wanted to do things right because I never really have before. With a lot of my cars in the past, I would go for the cheapest parts and it would sort of feel like you've done the dodgy on the vehicle and everything's just being held together with spit and sticky tape. So really this sort of build or bolt-on series I'm doing here, it's using the very best quality parts I can, where I can. I do try and save a little bit of money here and there, but when it comes to really important parts on the vehicle, like the brain, the ECU, the cooling, the radiator, the cooling as well, the intercooler, really top quality exhaust, I'm spending the money where I think it matters. And sure, there will be people criticizing what I'm doing, saying the radiator is overkill, the intercooler is too small, you should have gone with a flow-through unit. And again, why did you go with an aftermarket standalone ECU? But really, the answer to that question is, it's my car and it's my money. So it's the same for you with what you're doing with your vehicle too. You can ask for opinions on the internet and there are a lot of knowledgeable people out there, way more knowledgeable than me. I'm just a beginner basically with a lot of this stuff and I'm learning as I go. But in the end, the only person you need to answer to is yourself because it's your car, it's your money. So it's up to you to do what you want to do and enjoy it. Getting down to a technical aspect though, as I mentioned in the video I published about installing this ECU, I really do love the configurability that this ECU gives you. There are lots of parameters, endless amounts of parameters in the Haltech ESP software. And you can configure almost anything that this car does, from the amount of time that the fuel pump primes all the way down to how long it takes after the engine starts until the air conditioning compressor kicks in. They're just a few that I've seen and I haven't even delved through the rest of the software. So I'm a bit of a nerd. I love computer games and computers. I love cars as well. It's funny how those two kind of genres do cross over a lot. A lot of car guys are into computers and vice versa. So I'm going to enjoy spending hours down here with the laptop plugged in and just seeing what I can actually configure in this car. And that's even before we go and get it tuned. And one final thing which I really love about an aftermarket ECU like the Haltech Pro plug-in is that it has a whole lot of engine protection systems built into it. So there are a number of things which the ECU can detect and then put the engine into limp mode or even shut it down if there are any issues. So for example, if the oil pump gears on this shatter and the engine loses oil pressure, it can actually let you know, put the engine into limp home mode, and straight away you're going to know something's up and you're not just going to continue thrashing the car and blowing your engine. So I don't know a lot about those parameters and settings just yet, but over the next couple of weeks I'm going to be delving right into it and making sure this car is set up exactly as I want it to be. And those are things which you simply can't do on the stock standard ECU if it's been flash tuned or even just stock. It's a pretty dumb sort of an ECU, even though it can be tuned to get awesome results. Yeah, there are some settings and features which you can't get, which you absolutely can get on one of these. And one more thing about this ECU as well is I was really impressed with how well it was built. I thought from seeing pictures of these, I thought that the casing was just plastic, but it is actually all aluminium and it's got a really beautiful finish, and I think it looks amazing here in the engine bay of this car. I've really gone to great lengths to keep this engine bay looking really clean but fairly stock standard, and this ECU just sort of blends in beautifully. Even though it is aftermarket, it just looks incredible, and yeah, just looking at it makes me feel really excited. So for me, it is worth every single dollar I spent on it. Haltech did come on board and give me a bit of a discount because they wanted to help out with the channel and the build, but rest assured it is still by far the most expensive part I've ever purchased for a car, and let alone for this car. So yeah, that's really about it. It is quite exciting times for me down here in the MotoringBox garage. Really looking forward to getting this car tuned. I really hope you enjoy the decisions I've made along the way. It is going to take quite a few weeks or even months before we get this car tuned, just because my schedule is really busy. I don't have a lot of spare time. And it does cost a lot to get a car dyno tuned as well. So I'm going to be saving my dollars, waiting. We're going to be doing a few more things in the meantime as well. But yes, we are getting there, surprisingly. Hopefully we'll get it done by Christmas for all of your sake as well. I don't want to string this along for too long. But yeah, I will need some time to get things sorted out and get the money saved up. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That helps out a ton. And if you want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon account or a channel membership, which you can hit the join button below and join up for a couple of bucks a month. And hopefully, we'll see you next time.